Could you guys hear me in YouTube land? Please let me know. Thank you, man. I'll be back in 1 minute, guys. After the disclaimer.
Risk disclosure statement. There is a risk of loss in trading stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, derivatives, options, forex, and cryptocurrencies. This risk can be substantial, and therefore investors should carefully consider their financial stability prior to trading. Past performance is not indicative of future performance. The software, strategies, chat rooms, websites, and any associated websites or digital venues are for educational purposes only and should not be construed as an express or implied promise or guarantee that you will profit or net losses may be limited in any manner whatsoever. Users of the information accept sole responsibility for the outcomes of their deployment in most Stops and Icebergs, LLC and any associated companies, agents, management, owners, and customers harmless without reservation. Please trade responsibly. Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC, Rule 4.41, hypothetical and simulated trading performance results have certain inherent limitations, some of which are described herein. No representation is being made that any account below is likely to achieve profits or losses similar to those shown. In fact, there are frequently sharp differences between hypothetical or simulated performance results and the actual results subsequently achieved by any particular trading program. One of the limitations of hypothetical performance results is that they are generally prepared with the benefit of hindsight. In addition, hypothetical trading does not involve financial risk, and no hypothetical trading record can completely account for the impact of financial risk in actual trading. For example, the ability to withstand losses or adhere to a particular trading program in spite of trading losses are material points which can also adversely affect actual trading results. Because these trades have not actually been executed, the hypothetical results may have or overcompensated for the impact, if any, of certain market factors such as lack of liquidity. There are numerous other factors related to the markets in general or to the implementation of any specific trading program which cannot be fully accounted for in simulated trading or in preparation of hypothetical performance results at all, of which can adversely affect actual trading results.
This trade room and its webinars are not intended to mirror my trades or to give specific trade recommendations. Analysis I share trades and touch trades and I take for myself based on my personal analysis. The goal of this room is to teach trades how to identify specific areas of trade and manage results, but ultimately decision makers. Trading is extremely risky. You need to decide to follow my personal trades. You need to take your own risk and potentially lose your entire account and even more. And that I was profitable when I put 2 drawdowns on my trading accounts. The spreadsheet is access to my personal spreadsheet that I use every zone values, ATR values, and I'm using the exact prices for my trades. You can see my zone pricing to match spreadsheet as well as the prices of the trades, whether you go long or short. You have the ability to copy the spreadsheet and enter your own values and use mine to confirm zone prices until you're able to draw the zones correctly yourself. The spreadsheet is not telling you which direction trades. It has entry prices and stop prices for both long and short positions depending on the trading person decide to trade. All right, good morning. Kind of not a very good start today. Hold on, I'm trying to get my gold long stops in. I put on too much size on accident, and of course the thing is free falling on me. We'll go over those trades here in a second. I forgot to put my stop in here. Alright, so not a good start. I'm currently short ES though. I did hold it into the number. I was rolling the dice, so the number came out. There's a couple strategies here that I put on. Izzy trade, so this was an inflection zone. I did wait for an ATR retest here of the zone. Where's my drawer? So this day's been complete shambles from the start. My computer was something very, very slow. I had to restart it and then not getting zones and just going off, traders in the trade room posting zones and just scrambling. So there's not been a good start, but should be okay now. So anyway, this is current balance. This is that huge ice activity we talked about. I talked about on Twitter too. That was the lucky guess guys that just happened to put in all this iceberg before the FOMC minutes the day before, and then into the FOMC minutes, and then lo and behold, it does that. Again, must have been a lucky guess. Anyway, this is an Izzy zone. These types of trades, when you're breaking out of balance, these Izzy zones are meant to be taken, inflection zones we call them, with short Izzy for short. They're meant to be taken first move into the zones as fade trades. We have variations, so if you're taking an Izzy trade directly above balance, I will still take the Izzy short, but I need to see ATR retest confirm of the volume event, which this did, so I put that on. Where's the chart? So that's a good thing for me. Something good finally happened today. I will trail my stop to this new event. Anyway, I put an Izzy on, I put a pick on, and I put a slug on. These are all trading strategies we'll go over during this webinar. This was an event there. The entry was back inside this market profile composite. We'll go over those. And then I put a slug on, stop run into the red lug. So I have 3 different short strategies on here. First of all, I need to trail my stop to this event, right? So this is how I trail my stops. I do not move my stop to break even when the market starts working or moving in my favor, right? You're just asking for algos. That's all algos know. Almost all crappy retail traders do that, and that's when they start to play the games, right? So I trail my stops based on volume events. The most important thing you can ever use in futures trading, in my opinion. So my stop for this trade, these shorts were up here, right around 56.70 and a half. I'm now moving them down to 56.55 quarter. I'm gonna put those in so I don't get smoked on that. 56 quarter. 55 quarter, sorry. That is Izzy, Pick, and gold is just getting smoked. So I did trade those double sides, so that was not an error. I'll go over that trade, but that's not going to end up well, it doesn't look like. And 129. All right, those are working. Stops are in. Now I'm looking at important areas as this market moves in my favor. If it moves in my favor, which it is, one of the areas I'm watching is basically right here. So if this can't puncture into this market profile composite, I'm getting out of a few here. I got 10 micros on, which is equivalent to 1 real one. So if this is where I use my tick strike and my volume pressure and balance to kind of judge if it's going to push through these areas. Obviously the volume events are the most important thing I'm using, but I will use this stuff so you can see the sellers are getting aggressive here. Some of it were stops, but this is showing me this is market pulse, volume pressure and balance. This is showing me the most selling in the last hour threshold. Can't really see it here if I take my stops off for a second. You can see it. And there's the old freeze up. I don't know what's wrong with this computer or Bookmap today, but it's not been agreeing. So you can see there. All right, so if it starts to bounce, I'm going to get out of a couple here just because these markets are just incessantly bid. So I got, and we got a Fed clown chirping too. So this thing could swipe up at any minute here. So I'm getting out of 3 of my 10 right now. If I can find my other, there we go. All right, I'm out of 3 of 10. You know, it's harder for, actually this sell was up here. I take that back. So that was part of that stop run. Anyway, this is market profile composite. If it bounces, I got out of some, and you got a new event here too, so I'm going to trail my stop to that. Now we're at 50.75. So for my current short, I trail my stop to that. Now we got a new event, trail my stop to that, and there's other trades I can possibly put on either long or short here based on this new event. So you got sell ice coming in, just stopped out of gold. Wow, what a ass whooping that has been today. All right, so 50, the new stop is now 50.75 on this trade. So I'm guaranteeing myself at least 5 points if this snaps back of profit, right? And I'm not moving it because of what I want to save and I don't want to give back my profit. I'm moving it based on something that happened in the market. And 126. Sorry guys, I got 3 different strategies on, so I got to channel through all these to put these stops in. I don't know, the Fed clown's not saving the market today, so that's interesting. They usually come on and pump it up, and then when the real news comes out, kind of like the jobless claims that they've been lying about for a year, that were off only about 800,000. So that these guys pump it up, and then when the head ringleader Paul comes out and tells the truth, and or the real numbers come out, and then the market gets killed. But then, they pump it up, and then when it gets killed, it basically just goes back to where it was. Versus if they don't pump it up, then it gets killed, and it gets killed, right? So anyway, pretty important areas we're moving into here in ES. This is still bullish long term. We're just moving to the top of this balance, right, which is this zone. If this violates this high volume node, and these are the best trades in trading, the failed balance breakouts, watch out because there's not a lot of structure here. This thing can be coming all the way back. And basically the area you want to be watching is where this lucky guess buy ice came in day before the FOMC. If this area breaks, I'd say 56.20ish just from structure stuff and what happened real time with these icebergs. I would be trading double size shorts. So that's a ways to go. We're in an Izzy zone here too. I could probably get out of a couple more if this thing starts to bounce, which it already is. I'm gonna get out of 2 more. I'll now have 5 on here total. I didn't realize we were in that Izzy zone. Should have got out of a couple more. Got out of a couple more here. And one more here, 126. All right, so I put on 10 initially. I got out of half total here. We're in an inflection zone that I just showed you. We're at that market profile composite high and extreme standard deviation of VWAP. So these are all enough for me to get out. If the market keeps going, great. I still have some on. If it bounces off of here, then I'm, I trail my stop, and I already got out of half, so I'm fine with it. All right, so what I can do here too now, as far as real-time trading, on this webinar, we have sell ice, right? You have sell ice right into this market profile composite. So there's a couple different strategies I can put on. I could put on a pick. I would wait for an ATR retest confirm off of this event, and it didn't quite get to the ATR yet. So this is how I judge whether these events that are happening, these real-time volume events, which are just loaded up traders both ways, right? This is the whole idea of this strategy. It's using real-time volume and traders that are loaded up. So somebody's selling a ton here, somebody tried to buy, somebody's going to be wrong. We're taking advantage of that. So if this touches the ATR, retest confirm, I'm going to put on the pick short. So that's this trading strategy. Try to find those.
Motion detected at your front door.
One second here, guys. I'm trying to. Here we go. So these are my trading strategies. What are the trading strategies? All I'm doing is my important areas that I've, over my 25 years of trading experience, that I deem important. Those areas are step 1, but then I need to see a real-time volume event happen in those areas to confirm the area is important, right? So stuff in the past is great, but it's what's happening now is the most important. So anyway, I'll put on this trade here, pick, take any trade that moves new and out of a market profile composite. So composite, we got some soybean stuff. I don't think this confirmed to the downside. Let's check here real quick. Now you could put on picks aggressively, meaning first move out of the zone. But this is where the subjectiveness comes in a little bit, right? So I could either put this in the first move out of here for this strategy, right? Just the minute it touches, this is the entry line. So this is the Scott Zones add-on. I'll post the my document with all the stuff I use in a second here. That's the aggressive entry, and all it is an ATR plus 15%. Why do I do that? Because trading millions and millions of these things over the last 7 years, I've determined that's the best way to enter these trades. I learned the hard way. I used to see this right away and say, oh, it's sell ice, I'm going to go short, right? And I learned the hard way that's not the best way to trade these. So I demand this market moves in ATR plus 15%. So we have different entries. The aggressive entry is the first time it moves out of there, you take the trade, versus waiting for the retest, which we have a trade for that, and this one just worked. This is called the reversion trade. It's more like a scalp. And then that. So there's certain strategies where I don't wait for the retest because I know the area is so important it may not retest. It retests 70% or more of the time from my observations, but sometimes it doesn't. And these areas that are very important, I don't wait for retest. This pick, I would normally just take it first move out, but again, I'm using my opinion of the market, aka thesis. This market is still not in a bearish state. All it's really doing is pulling back to the top of this. So I will take that short, but I need to see for that volume event ATR retest confirm. On the flip side, if this does not confirm bearish, I can take an Izzy long potentially. Right? I don't know what I'm doing yet until it shows me, but here's your inflection zone, stuff that happened back here, continue to be important. Now it's the top of this balance. You get your volume event. If this holds, I'll take an Izzy long. So I'll stop out of my shorts that I have on and I'll go long. If this touches the ATR below, I can't take longs per my rules because it's a bearish event. So right now that these are still in place. So I will stop out of my 3 shorts I have on. I have Izzy, pick, and slug on from up here. I'm going to stop out of my shorts and I'll go long Izzy right there, and I'll go long pick. I'll flip my pick trade because this area is not gonna accept in this market profile composite, right? So here's the event right here. If this moves out of here, I'm gonna take a pick and an Izzy. So let me get those working here. So I will stop out of long shorts and go long. That's 50 and a half. You guys got questions? Throw them in the YouTube, please. And I'll post that document here in a second. So gold's real interesting. I mean, it's still getting just smoked. You can hear this tick strike firing off. This could turn into this could just be the beginning of this down move. So we've been talking about this for days. This market is still longer term bullish, right, with this massive balance breakout the other day, right? So many times they do the juke move here. It looks like it's going to break out. It's such an obvious trade, and these always snap it back, and then it goes. But, this is basically just the top of this. So this is just like, yes, there's nothing bearish longer term about this market right now. But this was the most activity. I posted this in Twitter the other day. So if you look at my Twitter feed, this is the trade of the day the other day. One of these, let's see. That was yesterday. That was the lucky guess of before the FOMC. This right here. So this, at the time when this was going out, I've never seen more activity in gold. It just was buy ice, buy ice, buy ice, buy stops, buy ice, buy ice. And that was this area here. That's this. This is what we're looking at now. Well, the market just ripped right through there. That's telling me, watch out. Right? So again, the market is still bullish, but if it's truly bullish, this area should not have been violated. I mean, it's not quite, it's right there. It's still on the edge of it. So, I still take longs either way, if I get into these zones. But my point is, if this area breaks, this could be coming at least down to this high volume node of this huge balance, which is high volume node is just where the most trade occurred in a balance area. And balance areas are just areas, traders taking longs and shorts that form balance. Anyway, if this breaks this, then I would think this would come down to here over today. It could happen today, tomorrow. And if this area breaks, then you really want to watch out, because that would be a failed balance breakout like we were potentially looking at in these other markets like ES. So that's my thesis. I'm still net bullish, but this is telling you something that I ripped through there. If this, it could hold right here. If I get a volume event, I'm going to take the long, but and you can see these buyers are already starting to engage here. They weren't right there. And this is the market pulse. Again, this stuff's important too, but it's not as important as the stop iceberg events, but this is important. This is telling me this is the most buying threshold, 70% or higher in the last hour, right? You can see there was no buyers in there, and now they're starting to buy it. These guys were wrong, but you want to pay attention. Overall, this could be the end of this now move. I'm still waiting for a volume event. I got stopped out. We'll go over, I don't really want to, but we'll go over my losers in a little bit. But I stopped out of that volume event that I took longs on. But I'm waiting for something new down here. So this is a pretty important area for gold, whether it's going to hold or get smoked. All right, did we confirm to the downside in this market yet? No, we did not. So the zone drawer will tell me when it confirms. Bookmap Bob, we call him. He'll let me know if this confirms, aka the short validation. Let me get this. Let's make sure here. Yeah, it did not confirm to the short side yet. So this is just telling me all the events fired off on the Scott Zones drawing indicator. Actually, Bookmap put out a little blurb today. I appreciate that with this indicator. First of all, let me post this stuff first. Hold on here. Trying to find the document. Sorry guys, give me a second. Again, I had to restart my computer. It completely threw me off this morning. There we go. So I'm going to post this in the YouTube, and we'll go over this one by one as I. So this is all the stuff that I'm using. I understand this is, I go over this every week, but there's always new traders on here, right? So I will post this in YouTube. Actually, that won't post because I'm not on the right account. Hold on. Oh man, today has just been a technology nightmare for me. All right, let's try this. All right, that is posted. So anyway, this is the drawing tool that we're using. And this was the little nice blurb on the of course I can't find it. So that's how my day's going. So they sent this out this morning. Right there, smart Scott Zones. Get smart with your stops. So very nice of them to put that in there, but this is what I'm using. It's just an add-on in the Bookmap marketplace. And then we'll go over this other stuff as we get into it. So you can see this is kind of hanging here now, right? So pretty important what happens when markets get into market profile composites. These are just daily value areas merged. So this is like a single day. This is a single day. Actually, I should merge these two. So this is a good example, right? So when single days overlap by 50% or more, you merge them and you come up with a composite. So it's just a composite value area, but they're obviously more powerful because they're multiple days. So I would do something like that, and you can see how this market ripped out of it. Right, so that's that one. So that's what, when you see these blue rectangles, that's what they are. Right, it's not single days. I pay attention to single days. I don't really trade off of them. I love the composites are some of the most powerful areas that you can trade off of. Anyway, pretty important what happens here. If this holds, probably going back to highs. If this gets inside this, then you expect the other side. It's inside of it, but you know, if it holds inside of it, then I'm expecting the other side. This is why I got out of some of my shorts, because we're right in this area right now, and in an Izzy zone. So I have my trades working. This is not qualified as a short yet. We got a natural gas number coming out too. So again, I'll stop out of my shorts and I'll flip long if this holds and turns into a bullish event. If not, then there's other strategies I can put on short, namely bark and lick. There was NQ stuff too. I'm sorry I didn't get over there. Algo guy is bearish. Here's all that ice, by the way. That lucky guess ice before the FOMC. You know, if this did, you could take a red rum here. So you got sell ice into the red ribbon. So I could take that strategy short, and I could take barks and licks because, so this is algo guy, this is exponential moving average. The red is the longer term, the blue is the shorter term. When the red is below, or the blue is below the red, it is in a bearish trending state. When the blue is above the red, it's bullish. This thing can flip on and off, but so many times it signals trends. So anyway, this is just pulled, so it's bearish. So I have strategies that I will take that uses this as a filter. We'll go over those if this turns out to be bearish. Right now I have longs working, and to get out of my shorts if we touch. You got to adjust this too. So this is another great thing about the zone drawer. It's dynamically moving because it's taking the ATR into consideration and the size of the zone, and it helps you with your position sizing. So one, you know, based on my risk level here, it's telling me I could put on 7 micros or 0.7 of a full contract. Just if you're trading full contracts, you just times it times, or if you're trading micros, you just times it times 10. So I can put on 7 micros or 0.7 of a full, which you can't do. So I always say, for you guys that are just trading one ES, full ES, you know, it's all or nothing. Meaning you get the market moving in your favor, you got to get out of the whole thing. If you trade micros, like, you know, if you have 7 on, you can get out of 3 in an area, another 2 in an area, kind of like it did on the way down. So highly recommend the micros if you have smaller accounts, so on and so forth. So anyway, my new entry now, and my stop out's 51. It was 50 and a half a little bit ago. I'm going to move it up to 51, where I will get out of the short and go long. And I could put on 7. Change that too. I think that's 26. All right, that's working. All right, so this is just hovering around this zone. We'll gotta wait to see what it does. Get this gold off of here. Very upsetting market today. You had sell stops, so this is one of the 6 distinct setups that we trade. My trade room and I trade, the core of my trading. This is a stop and hold. So you got sell stops here that were threshold, meaning it was trade worthy. We use 150 for NQ. Usually these are fade moves because stop runs are usually just the retail trader puke, but there are times with the retail trader pukes and the big money comes behind it. So anyway, this is potential market lick here. Actually, this is a red rum too, so I could put on 3 short strategies right now. So you see into the red ribbon and failing, so I got to hurry up here. NASDAQ moves quickly. I'm going to go short 19,899 quarter, and I could put on 3 micros. So I'm going to put that on right now. Bark, lick, and red rum. Red rum. Yeah, there might be something else here too. 899 quarter. Hold on, NASDAQ. I can't even get over it quick enough. 99 quarter. And red rum. Hold on, I gotta get the number for that. I have these all hooked to Apex accounts. We'll go over that too. All these trading strategies have their own Apex account. Red rum is 143. All right, so I got bark, lick. Pretty sure there's liquidity down here. Let's see. So there it is. So this is one of my, you know, I have areas where I'll get out. You saw me get out of some IS. With the lick trade, I demand an ATR retest confirm. I demand algo guy is in that direction, which it is. I just showed you that. And then that trade, the ultimate target is liquidity. So this would be a 75-point winner if this works. So I don't get out in any other area besides the liquidity for those lick trades. The other trades, the barks and everything else, I'll get out. I'll piece out at these other areas. So let's see if there's any other shorts here potentially. I'm already short ES, like I said. So this actually could probably be merged. Let's see what we got here. So you see these days overlap. I'm going to make it a composite, and this is probably right at the top of this guy too. So I can maybe put a pick trade on here too. Yeah, see this? We got more trades filled. So I need to put on a pick here too. And I'm going to get in. Hold on. All right, I'm not going to chase this. I'll wait for it to come back. I should have put a pick on as well. So I did short. There we got, yes. When did this validate? Did I, hold on. All right, this is freezing up on me. Give it a second here. You can see they're hammering these stocks. I don't know what's going on here. So I got, the reason this happens on my Bookmap is because I have so many market pulse on here. I watch so many products. I'm watching like 19 products, but this is not good. No, this thing is freezing up here. I gotta talk to the developers after this. All right, so this did. No, I mean, so this is now an official bearish event for ES2. I'm already short, but I was waiting to put on more. I was going to put on Barks and Licks. It looks like it finally. I just don't know why it said short entered here. What was that going off of? Oh, you know why? All right, so I missed this one. This is my fault. So this was a variation entry that I could have gotten. I wasn't even watching this, but this did do the ATR retest of that guy, and that's what this was saying to short entered. So I could have put on Barks and Licks off of that and a red rum for this as well. So that's another error for me today. I was focusing on this guy, but this obviously confirmed bearish, hitting the ATR. Here is your retest of that, and then you enter at this price. So I should have been short here from about 40.75, so I missed that entry. So that's F for me. I'm going to put myself in the doghouse. I'm still short, but I could have added. I mean, I could have put on different strategies. I could put on Bark and Lick, so that's not. And it pains me because I love being short these markets, especially when these scamming manipulators get their asses handed to them that buy 25,000 contracts before the FOMC, so on and so forth. I just love to watch them puke them all out. So I am short. I'm still short, but I could have had other strategies on, and I am short NASDAQ too. So what can I do here with NASDAQ now? Remember, I'm short off of this event, and of course it did the exact. By the way, that's the reversion trade. Here's your 1 ATR back to the zone. Not a surprise. It stopped right at the zone. There's all day long, every day, every market, same stuff. The markets just track back to these volume events. It's absolutely nuts, but don't question it. Just if you don't believe me, get Bookmap, replay the days. You will be stunned. Get the zone drawer. By the way, the zone drawer will draw the zones on your replays, so you can go back and practice with the zones. Not a game, practice, as Allen Iverson would say. Anyway, my stop was up here for that new event. I'm going to trail my stop down based on something that happened in the market. It's telling me 44.25 for the stops on these shorts. I'm going to move it I'm not going to stop out. That's the top of this zone. I'm going to move it out of here. I'll put it to 45. So I'm stopping out on my shorts off of this guy at 19,945. Put that in. And I never did get filled on my pick trade, of course. Hopefully it comes back. I just don't chase it, right? It's just like, it's not worth it. I missed the pick entry, but there's always another event. I don't chase my trade. So if it pops back up here where I got short Bark and Lick, I'll take that fill. It's just resting in there. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I do not chase my trades. So there's always another event right around the corner. All right, 19,945 is my stop for my Bark and Lick. Put that in. Any questions? Throw them in the YouTube, please. You guys, if I sound really low, let me know, because the audio was not good last week for some reason. So let me know on that. I thought I put on. What do I have on here? Oh, this is Red Rum too, and I put on the wrong strategy number, of course. Hold on. I'm supposed to be short this one. I'm supposed to be. Alright. So I filled on that pick. Right, it came back. I did this, so I don't chase. You get another chance most of the time, and if not, you got a new event, you put it on the new event. All right, so I'm short Bark, Lick, pick. Here's a rare occurrence where the market hits the ATR and comes back to the zone. I'm being sarcastic. It happens about 500 times a day. ATR. So this is another part of the zone drawer, right? If you get the zone drawer, it gives you these ATR reversion lines. So these dotted lines are the 1 ATR, the 2 ATR, the 3 ATRs down here. The dash dot is the stop out for those trades, right? So we have two different trading methods we're doing in my room. We have the position trading. That's what I've been talking about this whole webinar, right? That's these trading strategies. And then there is, so that's this part of the spreadsheet. And if you come in my room, you get this spreadsheet version of this. It's actually on my website. It's this. Just go on, it's in this here. Right? So if you want the spreadsheet and you can't get in my room, you can get it here. With the zone drawer, you don't really need the spreadsheet. I mean, you do, because there's times you want to merge zones and you got to manually put the zone prices in this spreadsheet. But the zone drawer is the spreadsheet on the heat map. That's what this is, right? So anyway, this is showing you visually these ATR trades for the reversion. So the 1 ATR just was filled. The stop was way down here, back to the zone. That's your exit right there. That's a nice, quick 7-point reversion trade. These are more like scalping trades, right? So anyway, this one did confirm, and if I wanted to, I could short this bark and lick that I missed here. So if this comes back, I'm not going to put it on here. If it comes back, I'll put on the first bark and lick that I missed, and then I'll add to it off of that guy that I just talked about. So let me put these in real quick, because again, I love being short, even though this market's still not in a bearish state. And I could put on 7. So I always get questions. Well, if you were to fill right, you're going to fill right there. You get a better price here. Why don't you put that on there? Well, because I just feel like I got away with something. If I didn't get the fill here and it's up here now, and it would have stopped me out. I just feel like I got away with something. So I'll put it on if it comes back. I should have had it on originally. So if it comes on back, I'm gonna put that on too. Bark and lick. I'm already short pick and red rum and Izzy. That's that. And this is that. All right. So again, what I'm doing here is I missed this trade a little bit ago. Right, and I was because I didn't see this event when I was talking about this guy. So this went this. I should have been, and that was the entry for that. So if it comes back, I'll take it. And then this did with this guy, this. I can add to those 36.50. So I will have double size shorts on. That should work out really well in this market environment. Not, but I'm putting them on. Guys said this is what. You don't trade like how you feel. These all feel terrible. These markets do nothing but bungee jump. This market is still in a bullish state with these balances. It feels terrible, but it doesn't. I don't trade what I feel. I trade what I see. I don't know what's going to happen next. If you are trading by feeling, you are telling yourself you know what's going to happen next, which you don't unless you are God Almighty, right? So the point is, this is still in a bullish state. These feel terrible. I just filled on the bark and lick first one, by the way. But I don't know. This thing can do that. I don't know, right? Or it could do that. So all I have to go by are my strategies and my rules. And if you have trading strategies, if you have an edge, then you just keep putting the trade on. Here we go with the Trading in the Zone document, right? Straight out of the book. Again, if you come in my room, you have to have this tattooed to your forehead or read it every day, one of the two. So all we're really doing is we have an edge, which are the SI events, stop iceberg events, right? The best edge I've ever seen in my trading career, right? You can get them and test them for yourself. You will agree pretty quickly, I would think. Anyway, all I'm doing is trading like a casino, right? So when customers come into the casino doesn't say, I don't really want to deal with these people because I feel like we're going to lose. They just keep dealing the hands. Yes, some days they're going to lose, some days they're going to win. If they have an edge, aka mathematically they do with blackjack rules, right? They just keep dealing the cards. It's the same with trading. If you have an edge, which you do, if you are using these which I do, using these volume events, right? Then you just keep putting the trades on, right? So I don't say, oh, this one feels bad. This is the number one mistake traders make, right? They're afraid to put on trades because it feels bad. These could lose. I just got filled, by the way, to the tick as usual. If this rips up, it rips up. On to the next trade, That's the beauty. You don't have to question with this. This is why you're on these webinars, I believe, listening to me. That's the whole point. I'm showing you the best edge I've ever seen, right? So you don't have to worry about the edge. And now you just have to worry about yourself and not following rules and doing stupid crap because you feel like something's going to happen, right? So the point is that feels like this is going to rip off the page to me based on with the longer term market structure, so on and so forth. Doesn't matter. This went bearish. Here's your retest, confirm. I put the trades on. And then on the next trade, I took beatings in the Russell pre-market. I put this on before the number. Took these shorts. This was a loser. I took gold shorts. 2 different losers today. I don't let it phase me, right? As long as your risk is where you're not blowing out your count, the most you should be losing in a day. So these are heightened risk for me because these are apex accounts. We'll go over that. But as long as you have your daily risk limits in place, which you should, and you're trading through a broker, you better be with a broker that'll shut you down if you give them a certain level. So you could say, if I lose $3,000, I just want you to turn me off, right? If your broker doesn't do that, find a broker that does. If your broker doesn't do that, then they're idiots anyway, because The brokers are not going to, they make money off of you trading. If you blow out your accounts, you're not trading, they're not making money. So if your broker doesn't do that, find a broker that does. Because again, I go on these rants all the time. I've told my stories. I've lost 800 grand in literally 10 minutes, 2 different times, a month apart, where I didn't follow my own risk rules. My trading firm didn't shut me off like they were supposed to. It wasn't their fault, but that's their job. So the point is, when you go on tilt, you start doing stuff that you cannot. When you wake up the next day, you're like, why did I just do that, right? So point is, get that out of your mind, where you're not, where if you go on tilt, you don't blow out your accounts. Have your trading firm just shut you off. There's always another day. There's always another trade. There's always another day. Some days just don't make any sense. And that leads me to my next rant. If you have a day where you're killing it, and I see this all the time too, where traders are like, oh man, I made my $5,000 today. I am done. That's my goal for the day. Hey, everyone knows how hard, if you've been trading in any period of time, you know how hard trading is, right? So the days that things are working, you do not want to get up at when you hit a certain amount. Yes, don't give it all back, but when you hit your, imaginary profit goal in your head, then say, okay, I hit my 5 grand, yay, all right, things are working. I'm not quitting because I can make 10, I can make 20, I can make 50. I will say, if I put on 2 losing trades and say I give back 20%, then I'm out. Then I'm done. Fine. But give yourself a chance to have these types of days. This is what was my main driver when I joined my trading firm back, 2001. These traders, for some reason, 5 grand was the magic number. They'd make 5 grand and they'd shut off their computer at literally it'd be 8:35 in the morning. The market had been open for 5 minutes. All right, I'm done. And they go to sit in the game room for the next 8 hours and play ping pong and video games. It's like, what are you doing? If you can make 5 grand, then sit here and make 10. If you can make 10, make 20, right? So take advantage of the days that things are making sense. The days they're not, that's where you want to shut yourself off, have your brokerage shut yourself off, and wait for the next day, right? Because there's days that it's like you're reading Chinese. No offense to if you're Chinese, but I don't know Chinese, right? So a lot of the days are like that. Make sure you don't blow out your account. So your P&L will look like that. This is what your a normal trading P&L day will look like, back and forth, over the course of time. And then you have a huge day, right? This is where you don't want to get out of your chair. You want to have the huge day, back and forth, huge day. You never have one of these because you shut yourself off, right? If you do that, and you have an edge, like this stuff, then your P&L will look like that. Speaking of which, actually, we'll get into that a little bit, the Apex stuff. One of my traders got paid the other day, so there's always, these disgruntled traders saying Apex they don't pay, blah, blah, blah. He got paid. He just literally sent me his bank account statement this morning showing it. It's just like, I just want traders to see that. We'll get into the Apex stuff a little bit, but that's another great thing to be using if you're underfunded or you're practicing and so on and so forth. I'll get into that in a second. I got to take a breath here. So if you got questions, throw them in. Fig Newton, how can anyone trade that chart? It looks like some child spider paint all over the screen. Please tell me there's a better chart set. Okay, well, guess what, Fig Newton? This is what drives markets. This is called liquidity. So the chart is is the order book. So this is the most important thing you can ever look at trading, right? So I don't know what you look at, but if you're not using this stuff, you don't have all the information, because this is the stuff that drives the market. Here's the algos, right? You see the stuff, the liquidity pulling. All this is this order book displayed in heat map format, right? So you can see the algos. You can see what the big money's doing. You can see where the resting orders are, where the market gravitates towards. So yeah, if you're not using this and you think this is child splatter, then you're not going to be around very long as a trader. So that's my opinion. Prove me wrong. Show me your P&L after you're not using this stuff, and then we'll talk. But other than that, even if you do have it, I'm not saying you can't be a winning trader if you don't have this stuff. I'm saying you can be you could be 10 times a better trader with this information, because this is real-time activity. What do you think drives markets? Lines on a chart that you're using, or volume coming into the market? Volume, it drives price. Price does not drive volume, right? So that if you're not using this, you just don't have all the information. So you can take my word for it in my experience, or you can find out the hard way. So that's my answer to the child splatter comment. Jim Thomas says, I'm also colorblind and haven't maxed out. Yeah, I mean, you could turn this stuff down like this, right? But that doesn't bother me at all, because I like to see what the hell's going on, right? These are just algos. And that's another thing too. When you do bring up a chart and it looks like a Christmas tree, it's just telling you there's algos everywhere. So this is, you got to just be ready for this type of trade because that's what they do to you, right? So this is why we trade these events the way we do, to try to avoid the algo whipsaws as best we can. All right, I'm about to enter the second bark and lick here, which feels terrible, but I'm just following my rules. I'm still short NASDAQ as well. I'm still short ES, but that was the pick Izzy and Red Rum. Now I have bark and lick on, and I'm going to add to the bark and lick. And as long as they keep hammering these, then we're all right. I thought you said I'm all right, Spider. Movie. Anybody know the movie? Goodfellas. All right. Let's see what Hero's doing as well. I lost my Hero chart. So this is SpotGamma Hero. So I get all the questions all the time. That's in this document too. Everything I use is in this document. Does that mean if you start following me or come in the room or want to learn, mentoring from me? I just had someone ask the other day, do I need all this stuff? No, you don't need all you really need is Bookmap, obviously, and these are all discounts to the stuff, and the MBO. This gives you the SI indicator, which we're using as the best edge in the history of the world, right? In my opinion. This other stuff I use to enhance my trading. It's more advanced stuff. Like, you don't need SpotGamma. It's very important to have, right? Speaking of which, let's get the Hero going here, because they are a big player in the market. Why is this not? There you go. Let's see. You can get it for 2 weeks free and see for yourself, right? Use that code. I'll just show this real quick because it's kind of confusing when you get in here. Just go to the maximum one, right? The highest price one where you get everything. And then over here, see where it says the coupon code? This is just not clear. Click on here and put in Scott, right? We got to make that more clear. Let's see if that works. There you go. 2 weeks for free. Try it out. Anyway, let's pull up the Hero. So what is this? This is just options activity. These dealers have to hedge with futures. They are just one player, but they are a major player. So there's days that the market does exactly what they're doing. Whatever way this thing goes, the market goes. There's other days, there's other bigger players in here. Well, that was a huge stop in bonds. There was an event here too, but all right, hold on here. I'll come back here. So this is moving lower, right? So this is bearish options flow. Dealers get loaded up long. They got to turn with options. They got to turn around and sell futures. This stuff is very, very interesting. He goes down a rabbit hole. He's just one of the smartest dudes I've ever met. I don't get that technical. All I need to do is know the slope of the damn line. That's about it. And the flow. When you get these flow alerts, we'll get into that maybe. But the point is, you don't have to have it, but it helps, right? Especially if I'm trying to hold on. Well, let me see if I'm going to get out of some of these NASDAQ. I just need to know my areas. So here we are at point of control. I'm going to get out of one of these if this thing bounces. We got MQ. Damn it. Hold on, NASDAQ. So this has been a decent trade so far. Out of one of those. I'll go over that here in a second once I get out what I'm doing here. Damn it. I can't find the damn 96 and 143. Of course. So see, that's what I try to say all the time. There's a camera in my office that sees everything that I'm doing, right? The second I said I'm going to get out of one of these, look at that. All right, so I got out of one at the point of control of that market profile composite. I didn't get out of the other one, so it's just unbelievable. Only 30 points within 4 seconds. So this is what I was looking at. This is one of my areas that I get out of some point of control of a market profile composite. That's this, right? So I am very consistent in where I piece out as the market makes money available to me. This is straight out of Trading in the Zone. This quote, all of these are right out of Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. I've added my own stuff in, but this is number 5. I pay myself as the market makes money available to me. These are the areas. Ludwig levels, market profile composites, highs, lows, points of controls. That's what that was, and I missed my exit on the other two. So hopefully it'll come back down there. Hopefully it'll blow right through it, but that's not a coincidence. It bounced right off there. I know what these areas are because I've been watching this stuff for 25 years, and I know what areas matter, right? I will piece out of some there, and let's see. Hopefully that comes back. You little piglet. Now this event, I could do the same thing I just did with the S, right? I got short, bark and lick from this thing over here, this event, whatever, the stop and hold. And I can add to this trade. The same strategies. I went short bark and lick and red rum. This one, there's your ATR test. So this is a bearish event. ATR retest, I can add to that. So it's kind of backwards where I'm getting out. Am I going to get out of one but add to it? That doesn't make a lot of sense. But first of all, my lick trade, I'm not getting out till this. So this, what I was trying to say earlier. So you saw I just got out of at the point of control for one of the strategies. Lick, I'm holding until we get down to here. So even if it bounces off point of control, I'm still holding lick. So now I gotta see if I'm gonna put on another lick. I'm supposed to put on another bark too. Hold on here. Is there more liquidity down here? There's a question. I'm not seeing a lot. So what does that mean? Well, the risk reward has to be good enough for me to put on a lick trade. So I'm not going to put on a lick entry here with the exit right there, 25 points away, when I'm risking probably 60, 70 points, right? So no lick for me there. If it does come back, I'll add to the bark. So I'm not going to get out of the point of control. I got out of the point of control for the red rum. Hold on here. I'm going to add to the bark. We got some CL pukes too. Go over there in a second. All right, so this comes back, 52.75, but I can trail my stop to this. I can't remember if I did that. Hold on. Yeah, I already did that. All right, 45 is my stop for these. God, this Bookmap is so slow for me today. 52.75. I'm going to add to my bark trade. I'm not going to add to the lick trade though. 52.75. All right, that's working. I got my stops in. I am short double. I've been short ES, pick, Izzy, all from this guy here. So this is a very nice trade so far. And then I put on barks and licks off of this. All right. And then I just added barks and licks off of that. Stop is trailed to there. Just make sure I put those in for the impending bungee jump that happens pretty much every time. 51.25 for these. Bark, lick, and the Izzy and pick. I'll be out of everything up there if that snaps back, which it probably will, because that's what these markets do. 26. Yeah. All right, those are all in. Oh, wait, sorry. Yeah, 25, 126. 29. Sorry, guys, I've got like 5 strategies on, so I'm trying to. This is why I make mistakes. So this is one of the reasons I use these Apex accounts, right? Because I learned the hard way trading my own live accounts with my real money that I live on and making mistakes, and because I'm doing these webinars and I forget to take orders out, so on and so forth. That'll lead me right into the Apex stuff here, right? So what I then did, because all these trading strategies used to be in my head, right? And I would get on these webinars, go watch my earlier webinars, like from 5-6 years ago. I would talk about all this stuff, but I didn't have anything like identifiable for traders. I would just like say, oh yeah, here's an area. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna put on a ATR retest confirm here. I'm gonna put on an Izzy here. Here's a slug, just straight off of this. So I decided, one, so I could assign these Apex accounts to keep track of the results. And again, I'm not risking my own money that I live on. I assigned an Apex account to each one of these. So actually, I was showing my trading room this the other day, right? So each one of these trades, I'm risking $500 per trade, right? Per account, per setup. Let's see, where is that? Is this it here? No. And let me log in here and I'll show you guys here, just so you can see what I'm talking about. This is a better visual. I usually show the rhythmic. This is just a better visual. Let's see here. So these are all these trading strategies, right? So there's stuff you need to know about this as far as, some of these, You know, we've been building. So you got to remember, these don't look like a lot of money per thing, but each one of these is like a $5,000 account. So this is like 100% return, over 100% return, 25% return, 100% return. You see what I'm saying? So especially, you know, they build up slowly because I'm only risking $500, and usually my winners are 1R or 2R, right? So this is just, like I said, this is what the P&L looks like. So you can see most of these are profitable. They will all be profitable because the edge is inherently profitable. So these are all these trading strategies. Profitable, 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 down a little, up a little. So you see what I'm doing here, right? So these are these. All right, here comes the bungee jump, by the way. I can already hear Tick Strike starting to give me the finger. Keep that up there. Where is this here? This was this. So that's this, right? So these are all these. 126. Let's move this over a little bit here. 126. So this one, the slug is. So you got to remember too, some of these, like you can see, they haven't been traded, like the days, right? So this is 2 days. Well, what happened here? Well, some of these. Well, let's just get into Apex here real quick, just so I can show this, right? So when you get the Apex, and highly recommend it, guys. Again, you don't know what a gift it is to have. Get out of that. To have something like this at your disposal. You know, in my day, when I was coming up, if you either had a trading firm backing you or you were trading your own money, and that was it. Nowadays, these are like having your own trading firm, right? So you go over here. Let's go over here so you can see that. So this is all my website too, by the way. All right. So go over here. Here it is over here. Risk our money, not yours. Use coupon code Pulcini50 for any sale promo. I think they just changed it today. Now they have the 80%ers, right? So anyway, pick which one you want. Most of mine are 150s or the 250s, right? There's a coupon code. So the whole idea is, like the 150, this thing's gonna scroll. It's a big pain in the ass, but you gotta make $9 grand before you lose 5. Great, simple, right? Well, yeah. Oh, here we go. Uh-oh. What just happened there? This is not good. I don't know what's going on with my computer today. What is going on? Sorry, guys. Give me a second here. I just lost all my charts. I'm going to need the Bookmap developer guys to come on and check out my computer. What just happened to all my ES chart? Goodness gracious. Hold on. This is like the top of the line computer too. I don't know what is going on here. I just lost my ES, my NQ. There's ES. Where's NQ? Not cool. Not cool being a jive turkey so close to Thanksgiving. Movie. Gotta laugh, guys. You gotta laugh. Trading places. Anyway, so what I was getting at before my computer just did a blitzkrieg. 9,000 before you make 5,000. Great. Pretty straightforward, right? Well, so many of these I can't even count now because I've been with these guys. I've been using these guys for almost 3 years now, right? So you get up to profit goal for the 150,000 is 9K, right? You get up to 8,900. Sorry for my writing here, but and then you have a drawdown, which happens all the time in trading, right? It's just probabilities and percentages. You have a drawdown. I'm at 8,900. I didn't qualify. I didn't get to that 9,000. I draw down 5,000. Well, I'm still up 3,900 bucks, right? Still profitable. Blow out the account, right? So again, it's a good way to learn to control your risk. I don't really agree with that because that's not realistic as far as like if you had your own account. But guys, it's their rules. I understand they make money off traders, you know, getting these accounts. But these things are a dime a dozen, right? I've tried other ones in the past. This is the best one that I've seen. This is the one I put my name on. They pay. This is right here. I'll even show you this right now. This is what this is my segue into this guy. Right here, hold on. I think he blacked out his stuff, but he sent this to me this morning, right? Hold on. Where you at? I call him KFC, but he's KCF. Right here. Paid this morning. Apex Trader. Actually, I don't want to see those account numbers there, but anyway, guys, they pay. I've been paid. I'm actually waiting to get paid on one of these other accounts, so I have multiple accounts to this other one here. I'll show you these two, just to give you guys confidence in it. Again, guys, they have thousands and thousands and thousands of traders. You're always going to have some disgruntled trader that say, "Oh, I didn't get paid, blah, blah, blah," because they didn't get paid, 12 hours after they submitted it, so on and so forth. But this is the one I put my name behind. I don't own the company, but that's the one I put my name behind. So what I was getting at is you don't know how lucky you are as traders to have this. So if you are underfunded, or if you want to practice with what you learn in my room, so on and so forth, get one of these. They are very low priced, and you have skin in the game. So it's not like trading a simulator, right? Where certain traders can't trade because they're on sim and they know it's not real. Well, if you blow these out, it's not going to kill you, but it's going to hurt a little bit because you don't just open up your window and throw $40 out the window, right? So it's going to hurt. So you're going to pay attention. You're not just going to trade haphazardly because it's a sim account. See what I'm saying? And if you do well, then you're funded. So that's my spiel on that. So what was I showing? Oh, back to the. You guys got questions on that? Put it in. But I was showing you these accounts. So they are slowly but surely. Why can't I? Sorry, guys. That computer blitzkrieg just threw me off here. But you guys saw you saw the chart. So highly recommended. Any sale they have on, the Pulcini 50 works. There you go. All right, let's see what's going on here. Here's the old 10 o'clock hour. Let's screw around with traders. This is where the algos just start taking over, right? New York starts to go to lunch. Then they start this nonsense, right? It doesn't happen all the time, but most of the time it does. How you can usually judge if that's going to happen by looking at your relative volume. There we go. So this is what I was waiting for. I don't know this is going to happen. I assume it's going to happen because it happens almost every day at this time. But look at this relative volume, right? You're not going to get extended moves when the relative volume is at 50%. Look at this is horrible, right? This is the type of trade you get. So you could say when relative volume is like this, I'm not trading. Position trading is going for big moves. I'll take the reversion trades. Or you can just say I'm not trading at all. We talked about this all the time too. I've lost millions and millions and millions of dollars in my career between 10 and 12 p.m. Central. This is when this starts to go down, right? So it's not a bad idea. I used to literally have to physically remove myself from the office so I would not be tempted to trade during this time. And I'm talking every single product overall, and there's people that are using, which you should be too, this, let's see, where's that? This tracking, trading, so what's the name of that? The name of it. It's all on here too. It's in that document I gave you too, right here. TraderSync, right? So as I was saying that, traders in my trade room started posting their stats, and almost every one of them had a losing time period between 10 and 12 Central. So it would not be a bad idea to say, we hit 10 o'clock, you exit your positions, and then you don't put anything on until after 12 noon, right? It's not a bad idea, and this is what goes on. So I'm in these trades, I'm on the webinar. It's not going to surprise me. If it stops me out, if it stops me out, it stops me out. I have my rules. There's my stop for my shorts in NASDAQ, and there's my stop for my shorts in ES. If it happens, it happens. But what I'm trying to tell you guys is you could come up with a rule where you just get out, go for a walk, go work out, come back at 12. So what I was saying is I used to have to physically remove myself. I would go home between 10 and 12, and I would actually take a nap because I was up since, that's when I used to trade European hours too. So I was tired as when I was a younger man, obviously. But I would go home, take a nap, set my alarm for 11:50. I was only 10 minutes from the trading firm. Get up, come back, start trading again. But the point is, I'd have to physically remove myself because of the millions of dollars because you're always tempted, right? It's like, especially with these volume events, you're like, oh, there's a new volume event. Okay, maybe it's going to start trading now. It's not even worth it overall, in my opinion. But you guys can find that out the hard way too if you want. But that's why I think you're on these webinars, is so you don't have to learn the hard way. You can take my years of experience and model me and say, you know what, I'm going to listen to him so I don't have to spend 25 years getting my head kicked in between 10 and 12. All right, let's see what you guys got question-wise. I get the liquidity heat map, although most of it that is spoofed. Well, exactly, it's algos. But how do you zero down to precise entry off the slot? It's all in the zone jar there. Fig Newton, have you been watching the webinar today? It's all laid out right here. So I was talking about the spreadsheet, right? this is the spreadsheet. I don't have the actual zones in this because it's on the thing, but this is top of the zone, bottom of the zone, ATR, showing the entry price, showing your stop price. That's what this is right here. So I entered this trade. This is the entry, the yellow line, where it says aggressive entry when you hover over. And if you get the Scott zones, you'll know what I'm talking about. Long aggressive, short aggressive, right? So I went short. This hit the ATR, proved to be a bearish setup. It retested. I went short at that line. My stop's there. That's what I've been talking about this whole webinar. This tells you your entries, your stops, tells you the current ATR. So it's very clear of what's going on, actually, if you pay attention to what I'm saying. Curious to be, they're all answering, yeah. So there you go. I've been talking about this whole webinar where I'm getting in, where I'm stopping out, so on and so forth. So now we just sit here and get tortured at the 10 o'clock hour. All right, I missed something in CL. Let's go over here. Step one, obviously, is I'm looking for a volume event. Let's see what we missed. We had a Dumb and Dumber up here, and then a media stop and hold. So this probably was an area I could have been short. I just didn't get over here. There you go. I've heard these inflection zones are kind of powerful. Right? These are the zones I draw. It's not that I'm some like master prognosticator. I'm just drawing them off of areas on the chart where important things happen. Tops and bottoms, these are drawn. Tops and bottoms of balance areas. High volume nodes of balance areas. I don't usually draw the high volume node because there's just be too many of them, but it usually corresponds with something else, right? It's like this one corresponded with this directional conviction. So it's tops and bottoms of balance areas, high volume nodes of balance areas, directional conviction, and buying and selling tails. So there's a selling tail there, there's a little buying tail there. So those are where I will draw these zones. So many times things overlap, aka confluence, where tons of things happen. Like this was directional conviction this way. This was directional conviction this way. This was a little buying tail. So you can see, and that's right where the market bounced. So anyway, this is just another important area that I look for the volume events. Right here, we got the volume event and in this Izzy zone, which is in a very important area. And I'm really upset I missed this trade because this is where this market broke down with directional conviction from yesterday. Right? That's why I have a zone there. Let's see if I have a chance to get back in this. So actually, I did not miss this trade yet. So this was this event. So you watching here, Fig Newton. Here's your entry price right there, short aggressive. You see it in the bottom left, 72.77. Here's my position sizing. Well, it's probably the same because the ATR is probably the same. I could put on 9 micros or 1 full one if you want to round up. I don't trade 1 full one. I'll trade the 9 micros so I can get out of some. Everything's right here. 72.77. I'm going to take an Izzy short off of that event. I'll put that in right now. Guys, if my sound's bad, let me know. I know we're already an hour into the webinar, but all right, that's working. What else? Could I put on Barks and Licks? No. So Barks and Licks are just blind ATR retest confirms of the volume event. Why? This is my filter for Barks and Licks. So I have certain areas I'll get in off the volume events, but I know inherently the volume event is an edge in itself. So I want to participate when I see them as much as I can. Well, I won't fade Algo Guy. So Algo Guy is bullish right now. I will take Izzy shorts because I know how important those areas are on their own, but I won't take Barks and Licks, which are just events. You're trading them no matter where they're at on the chart, right? Unless Algo Guy's in my direction. So I cannot take that trade off of this. I do have a new event here, so this is good. So if I do get filled at that 72.77 price, I can actually trail my stop to the new event. See this price? See this price there, Fig Newton? That's where I will stop out based on this event. So my original stop was up here, telling you the price. New event, I'll trail my stop to that. So if I fill at 72.77, there's my stop. All right on the chart for you. All right, so keep an eye on that. There's nothing for me to do on the short side besides Izzy unless this is a pick trade. Let's see if this is a pick. Very powerful areas in their own right, like I've been talking about all webinar. How did this Ludwig level do, by the way? Did that work out right there? Same with the S. I actually was short off of this perfectly. Still short, slug. This is good, by the way. We were in the 10 o'clock hour. Maybe we'll get lucky and not get algoed. This is accepting in here. What do you expect? The other side. So that's what I expect for this move today. If it bounces out of here, then that's telling me something else. Stop out, then I'm going to be probably double size longs. I don't know what's going to happen. I know my rules, and I trade accordingly. All right, let's look at crude. Nothing, but I can merge these days, right? So yesterday, this is yesterday's value area. Day before, these overlap by more than 50%, 50% or more. I will merge those and trade off it, potentially. There you go. This is a pick trade as well. Pick short. Here's your area. Bottom of this guy was right around 73.07-ish. Hey, what do you know? Right there. So I could take a pick short at 72.77 as well. So I got Izzy and pick. I do not need algo guy in my direction for those trades because these areas are so powerful in their own right. And you can see the market keeps bouncing off of it. Right? So 77, I'm taking a Izzy short and a pick short. Put that in. All right, those are working. All right, these markets are just sitting here now, but I'm just tickled it hasn't ripped up yet, right? Because I just know what these markets do at this time of day. So maybe we'll get lucky here. What would help us in this time period is if Hero continues to move lower, then at least you know those options dudes are going to be hedging with futures, aka selling them. So back to this. Let's see. Hold on. I thought I brought this up. I know I brought it up. I don't know what happened to it. Come on. There you go. So pretty much on its lows. So when this thing moves $1 billion notionally, that's important, right? So I mean that's worthy, and you can see this thing has moved notionally, went from plus 800 million to minus 1.2 billion. So it's moved almost 2 billion notionally. Watch his webinars. He talks about it all the time. He does live webinars twice a week, I think. Really good insight on this stuff. I don't claim to be an options expert. Like I said, I use this in a very basic sense. I keep an eye on this, and I use the SpotGamma levels on the ES chart and that Nasdaq chart. Like he's been talking about this. Actually, we can read his commentary here in a second because it's great to help with your thesis, especially if it matches what I'm seeing with my thesis from the bar charts, from the structure stuff. I already know that's an important area, right? So, and that's down at that bottom of that market profile composite I just saw. So if this motor's down here, I will be getting out of most of my trade in that area because I know the propensity for these things to bounce off these levels. So that's how I use them: support and resistance off of these, and then watching the Hero. I don't complicate it. You can go down a rabbit hole and complicate it as much as you want. I never filled on that crude trade, by the way. And I could potentially take a pick long here, right? So my crude shorts are off of the table. Why? Because the most recent volume event, which I default to, has now proven bullish. Hit the ATR line. So those shorts I was working are canceled. Let me get those out of the order book before I forget, which I do basically every single time. Little copper. Take a look at copper. I could take a pick long here. This is getting inside that market profile composite right now. I have to decide whether I want to take this aggressively, meaning right now, or wait for the ATR retest for this pick. That's the $1 million question right here. You can see it's starting to enter into this pick. Based on the activity lately, based on this is extreme standard deviation of VWAP, so you already had those algos that snap it back. I will take the pick long, but I'm going to wait for the retest confirm. And because this market has been very bearish lately, right? So this is most of the stuff we do is black and white. Almost everything we do is black and white as far as rules. There's sometimes you got to decide, hey, especially on the pick trades, am I getting aggressively or am I waiting for a retest? I'm going to wait for a retest. Does that mean it's going to retest? No, 80% of the time it does, especially in crude, from my observations. But if I miss a trade, then I miss a trade. There's another event right around the corner, right? So this could just keep going. Doesn't have to come back to this. Very likely will. But what I was showing you is overall, this market is still, it's not bullish. And all we're doing is coming into the bottom of this balance that broke down from yesterday. So I'll take that pick long, but I need to see the confirmation of the ATR retest, right? Here's the balance. There's where it broke down. It's the bottom of it. We're in an IZZY zone. I will take the pick, but I need to see ATR retest confirmed. This is not an IZZY long. It would have been an IZZY short that I was working. It is an IZZY zone, but we're looking for fades. This is not an IZZY long. It's moving into the zone from the downside, right? So no IZZY. I can't take a pick, but I need to see ATR retest confirmed. What you do want to watch for here, going forward the rest of the day, this is the best trade in trading. Right around 73.54-ish is the high volume node of this guy. It's not an exact price, it's an area. That is the high volume node, meaning here's your balance. This is where the most trade occurred in the balance, roughly. It could be a failed balance breakdown. Any events I get above that high volume node, I'm getting in, and I'm getting in aggressively. That is trading strategy FBB. We have acronyms for all these, right? Failed, balance, breakout, or breakdown. Let me just put this in because I keep forgetting. Failed break of longer term balance on an hourly chart where the market travels back through the balance area, high volume node. Trades are taken aggressively on the first SI event through the high volume node, right? So if this thing motors up through 73.50-ish, I will take any event, first move out of there. I wouldn't wait for a retest. We just talked about like waiting for a retest on this pick trade. So say we're watching this. It could happen while we're on here in the next, 15 minutes. Say I get an event right here. I would get in, first move out. I would not wait for the retest based on that trading strategy. This pick trade, I'm waiting for a retest. See the difference? Right? So it doesn't mean it's going to retest. I may miss a trade. Fine, big deal. There's another event right around the corner. That's the beauty of these things, right? We just wait for another event and then trade that one. So keep an eye on that. This is I'm still alive here. I still have this original short on from way up here. You can see they're hitting it. See, I lost all I think tick strike is what's causing these problems, by the way. All right, I just added to my Barks and Licks and NQ. What could go wrong here? at 10:20 Central. Wow, I don't know like what even happened here. Like what happened to my tick strike? Like why does technology hate me? That's all I want to know. That's my main question. Hopefully when I go to heaven, that's my first question to God or whoever meets me. Why did technology hate me so much when I was on this earth? All right, so remember, I still got this lick trade on. I'm getting out. If we get down to this liquidity right now, I'm watching this very closely. I will get out of that trade. If it doesn't have to tag the liquidity exactly. If it comes near this and starts to run away, I'm out of that lick trade. Here we go. Be nice if my book map's not freezing when it gets down there. I can't even see where we're at, guys. All right, so you're getting stops. I'm free. I gotta get this taken care of. This is not acceptable. We're in the middle of the day, and I don't even know where the hell we are on these charts. So we have another stop run. I'm going to trail my stop, but I want to see if it's blowing through here or not. I have no idea. Looks like it's through it right now. It's right around 1820. If it starts to pop up, I'm out of my lick. This is unbelievable. Are you kidding me? Jesus. Sorry, guys. So this is where I go on tilt. All right, I'm about to start swearing here. This is just not acceptable.
U.S. stock index is turned lower. The S&P 500 down 0.3%.
Jesus. All right, well, just let me know. Just let me know where the markets are, because Nasdaq doesn't move very fast, so I'm sure it'll be right where where this froze, so I can make a decision. Being sarcastic. I know part of the reason is because I have so many market pulse on all these. I'm watching 19 products, but this is ridiculous. All right, so it's through that liquidity, so I don't have to get out right now. If it starts to pop back, I'm getting out of my lick trade. And you get a stop run, so I'm going to trail all my stops. There's your price. You're watching Fig Newton, there's your price. Right? If you're short, if you got short with me, and this is not a mirror my trade type of webinar, it's to teach you guys how to do this for yourself. But if you're short, you trail the newest event. 72.75. If this starts to pop above this liquidity, I'm out of my lick trade. I'm not even going to let it come back up to 72.75. I'm out. I'm going to give it about 3 seconds. What is going on here? I thought I had double-sized NASDAQ on. Of course, I did not. That's upsetting. I had one on. I put double-sized bark on. I was supposed to. No, actually, I didn't want to put on lick, so I take that back. So I did that right. All right, this is starting to pop above. I'm out of my lick trade. I'm gonna get out. So this is one of my areas I get out if it struggles to get through resting liquidity. Again, my book map is frozen. Hold on here. All right, it's all right. This is one of my areas, right? Trading in the zone document, where I pay myself as the money makes. Lick trades, I get out at the lick, but by other trades, if it struggles to get through heavy resting liquidity, I get out of some. Not all of them. The lick, I get out of all of them. The other trades, I won't. So if this starts to pop up, I'm going to get out of a couple, but I'm still trailing my stop to everything to the 72.75 area. And actually, I want to see where ES is too. I got all those shorts on as well. Maybe this isn't frozen. All right, this is the exact area that I talked about, right? SpotGamma level, market profile composite low, and what did it do? Just like it's supposed to do when the market accepts in these things, get to the other side. That's not quite there yet, but this is SpotGamma level, and this is this prior. We got some new CL stuff. It's that guy there. So, and point of control. So if this starts to bounce here, I'm getting out of. So I'm giving it a second, right? And my fragmented tick strike, don't know what happened with this thing. I don't know what happened to all my stocks here, but I'm going to give this a second. If it bounces, I'm getting out of half of all my shorts. All right, somebody keeps dinging me in my room. Let's see what's going on here. What are you guys asking me? You notice I've used my account Live Rhythmic through my broker. I get freezes. I use Rhythmic. I do not. Or through Apex. Okay. Well, yeah, you guys can use Apex as your Rhythmic feed as well instead of paying for it if you have it. Where's the Rhythmic? Hit play button on the screen. He froze his chart, moving back to the historical data. He froze his chart, moving back to historical data. What play? I don't even see the play button on here. I know what you're talking about, but that's not why it froze. It froze because I have 85 things I'm watching with Market Pulse on like multiple Market Pulse. This is what I'm talking about. So I got all these different Market Pulse. Very important. Like you can see here, see these aggressive sellers coming in? You can get out of that area too. So you can either add to this trade. So this is very advanced, guys. Not very advanced, but it's advanced. This is important too. You pretty much want to know, and you can see it triggered a little bit bias. It wasn't threshold bias, but these sellers, you can see in the market bubbles that the sellers are obviously hitting bids, but this is telling you this is the most hitting of bids in the last hour. That's important information, is it not? How this market reacts here. If it holds, there's a pattern that for this stuff too that we talk about. Come to my trade room, you'll learn all about it. I'm not going to get into it here, but the point is you could add to this trade based on this stuff and just trail your stop for that add just to this little stuff that's happening right here. So it's going to be pretty important. These sellers are initiating here, so this is what I'm saying. I can wait a second. I know, so say this came down here and nothing was happening. Then I'd say, you know what, I'm out right now. Here I'm saying, hey, let's give this a shot. These guys engaged. Let's see if it keeps going. And I use that, and I use my tick strike when it's not all. Let me X out of this and see if it comes up normal. I think that might be one of the reasons why this computer is giving me the finger too. Hold on. Anyway, this is the market pulse. Well, I'm waiting for that to load. I'm watching all these different market pulses, right? On all these different products. Volume, pressure, and balance. Pace of tape. Price change. Actually, I'm going to get rid of this. I don't need to see that right now. Price change is really important too. Especially if you like to scalp. I'm not going to get into that right now unless it dies down. So I'm watching. This is one of the reasons why I'm freezing. So, all right, I'm giving this a second. If not, I'm getting out of half of these, and I got to go one by one, which sucks. But that's the way it goes. So where was my liquidity here that I was trading to? Did I even have a liquidity on this? I mean, yeah, got this band a little bit here. All right, I'm about to get out of half of these. I'm just going to peel out of half of that. That's the lick. Actually, lick, I'm supposed to hold on to the lick, but there's really not any lick. I mean, you got that, which is that, but it's close enough. And then I got on red rum, and didn't I have a slug on? Yeah, I had slug, Izzy, and red rum on from the high. That's going to be the trade of the day on Twitter, too. I'll post that later. You guys want to read about it. We talked about it in the room, but that was right before we get on the webinar. So I'm going to get out a couple of these. I'm going to get out a couple of these. Oh, no, that was not red rum. I take that back. That was Izzy. Maybe it was. I got to look to see what it was, guys. Hold on. We'll go over that trade one more time, too. Sorry, I gotta literally do every one of these strategies by hand and get out of each one of them. All right, I'm out of half. Still have M and Q on. Hold on. All right, so you can see here, guys. Like I started off just getting my ass handed to me. But I know I have an edge, and I just keep putting the trades on, right? So this was the P&L from the day. I put on double-sided gold. Actually, I still have one on, so this is what I'm talking about. I make mistakes like this. Anyway, I put on a gold trade, loser. Then it was an Izzy as that market moved down. Then I put on another gold trade, Izzy, double size. That was into that area that we're through now, by the way, and this market may just get absolutely destroyed, right? So this was just because my thesis, it was this Izzy zone with the volume event into that. Right? And you can see this is still kind of holding. So, but anyway, I lost on that trade. I lost on a Russell trade. I got crushed right away. I kept putting on the trades, and here's all the rest of them, right? Because I have an edge, right? Took a beating, took a beating, took a beating, took a beating. I mean, these are different strategies for the same stuff, basically. And then I just kept trading. Again, if you hit your drawdown for the day, you want to be done. But this is why. You just keep putting the trade on. If you hit your drawdown, you're done. Back tomorrow. All right, so these are all still working. I'm actually pretty surprised because we get to this time of day, they just love to start screwing with people. It's coming, don't get me wrong, but maybe we get one more wave down here. Let's check out NASDAQ too. So in the meantime, there's another event NASDAQ. I can put brand new trades on this. What am I waiting for? Well, I don't know what this is yet. There's potentially I can go long off of this. If I stop out of my shorts, I can maybe go long. We'll see where those areas are. If not, I can add to barks and licks off of this. Well, my drawing tool's not even working today. It's got to touch the ATR. It's got to retest. There's your entry. You watching that fig? There's the price. So yeah, guys, if you first see this stuff, it looks like your head's gonna explode, right? You're like, what is all this? When you understand what it is, it's not complicated at all. It's actually the simplest form of trading you can do. And that's the best form of trading you can do. The simpler you can make your trading, the better you're going to do. I can tell you guys all the time, I made millions of dollars trading just staring at that. There doesn't get much more simpler than just looking at the dome, right? You can't do that anymore. That's why I look at this, because this is so fleeting and it's just computers. This, at least you can see what's going on with much more clarity. Even though you think this looks like too much, it's actually not. It's actually helping you decipher what's going on in there. And the hidden orders, which are the icebergs. Those are hidden orders that you don't see. Kind of important what the big money is trying to accomplish and knowing that, right? All right, any other questions? Right at the time. What I'd be watching for, one, is that crude. We've already talked about this. Watch for a fail balance breakdown here. Kind of struggling right here. There was a new event. I'll look at that quickly, but I will take an Izzy short still. But if this breaks that 73.50-ish area, watch for a failed balance breakdown. The best trade in trading, basically. Was there an event here? There was, but this is a bullish event, so no Izzy short for me there. You could go long barks and licks off of that. Algo guy is bullish. And Q, as far as structure stuff, this market, this is such an important area right now, right here, right now. Balance. I don't know if I talked about these failed balance breakouts. And the best trades out there. This is it. This is it. Make no mistakes. This is why I'm not a singer, guys. Anyway, actually, off of this event, I could take the fail balance breakout right now. It's a little sketchy because it's still right here, but this gets through this, bye-bye, right? It's going down to probably that and probably lower, maybe lower. Just a guess. I have no idea. I'm not Nostradamus, right? I have my rules. If I got a volume event right here, so I could go long Izzy, by the way, if this volume event turns bullish. It's, you could say in this situation, you don't get them all the time. You could say, you know what, yeah, this is an Izzy zone, but this is a fail balance. I'm not going to take that long. Fine. I'll still take it because I don't know if that's going to do that. I have my rules, right? Anyway, this moves a little lower. Watch out. Yes, same thing. If it gets through this miraculous buy ice that obviously knew what the number was, probably Fed guys' relatives that were putting on trades before they released the minutes. Just kidding, but not really. Such an important area right here. Here is that ice. It was 21,000 icebergs. Well, look at that. I can't believe it did that after that happened. Anyway, here we are. This is either going to do that or it's going to do that. So, such important areas right here, right now at 10:30 in the morning, which sucks, but. So I'm going to wait for one more event for that fail balance breakdown because it's right in the middle of that high volume node. So anyway, I can add to Barks and Licks here. I could put on fail balance breakout. You could off of this one if you want. If not, I would probably wait for one more event and then do it off of that one lower. But this is getting real interesting. And you can see this, and I'll bet you Hero is on its lows, which is just aiding in this trade. There you go. Right? On the lows. On the lows. Right? So we got something in ES here. I gotta get off, guys, because I get yelled at if I go into the other presenters. You got buy ice coming in. I'm gonna trail my stop to this event now. Well, for all my shorts, I'm short from this guy way up here, and the rest of these we did on this webinar. So just to recap, got short that. That was pre-webinar. Izzy, pick, and I lug you or slug. Stop running to the red lug. Then we took the Barks and Licks off of that, added off of that, new event, trail my stop to that. Simple. Just kidding. It is simple. Trading's not easy, but it is simple when you have your rules, and it's all laid out right here for you. All right, guys, I do this every day in my trade room. Come on over, learn. Sorry, that's not. I do this every day, so please don't ask me for a free trial. There's too much information that is exposed when you come in my trade room that people pay for. This is your free trial. This is exactly what I do every day. Yes, it's a little more basic on the Bookmap webinars because there's newer traders on here, but I do the same thing every day, exactly like you're seeing it, twice a day most days. If it's a horrible afternoon trade, we do a vote, but it's like we're not going to watch paint dry together. So talk to myself. All right, keep an eye on crude to the upside if it breaks that high volume node, and then watch out for Armageddon and then move to zero today in equities. All right, I will see you guys next Thursday.